Another Republican candidate is entering the race for Congressman Bill Johnson's seat. Johnson is transitioning into the role of Youngstown State University's president this spring. A chiropractor in East Palestine is watching what's happening. He is running to fix what he calls, quote, a spineless DC. I'm joined now by candidate for Ohio's 6th Congressional District, Dr. Rick Chai. Thank you so much for being here.
Happy New Year. Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about what's going to happen in this year, because we have a very busy political year with the presidential race and the Senate race. Also, this district now coming up. So share with us why you're running. What influenced you to jump into this race?
So it's gone on 11 months now with what's happened with East Palestine, Ohio. I don't think our neighboring communities realize that it is still highly contaminated here. I went down on Christmas morning just to check the waterways. Chemicals everywhere. We're being told it's fine. All through this, I have fought corruption in local, state, federal government. We have not received one penny or one bottle of water from the federal government. So District 6, I'm running to end the corruption, give us a positive outlook. I'm an outsider. And look for me at rickchai.com. That's my campaign page. And I will fight for you as hard as I've fought here.
Yeah, we've been covering this story from the start. You know, we get information from the officials, we hear from the people living there like yourself, and it's understandable that this is unsettling to see when you go to those creeks. We are getting closer to the 1-year anniversary of the Norfolk Southern train derailment. What is your assessment, maybe the grade you'd give state and national officials for the cleanup that they've been doing?
I'd give them a C, because they waited too long. I believe the Army Corps of Engineers should have come in here and dredged those creeks right from the beginning. I think a lot of people in our neighboring communities don't realize that our town is built over those creeks, and the chemicals just off gas into their property and into their land and into their homes. There's still people getting sick. I give them a C minus. You know, they're doing a lot at the crash site, but they have not properly addressed the creeks. I believe it's too late. If I'm elected, not only will I offer or write a bill for no or low interest loans for people to get out of here that need to get out of their contaminated areas, and they don't have to pay their loans back until their current home sells. If you're afflicted with something like this in your community in District 6, I will help. But I'm not a one-trick pony. I know other counties have a lot of challenges. I'm hearing a lot of people voting people in, and they do the exact opposite of what they said they were going to do. Per the Constitution, a U.S. representative is supposed to listen to his constituents and travel around and listen to them, take those concerns to D.C., and I am that man. I won't be corrupted, I won't be intimidated, and I will fight for you, District 6. Vote for me in the primary, March 19th.
It's interesting that this is still going on a year later, a lot of the steps that they are taking. I think we're watching to see what's the next phase, and if we hear whether or not there will be more resources heading that way. What are your biggest concerns for East Palestine moving forward? Aside from the housing, do you have any other concerns outside of that?
Well, the health concerns. You can't have, I did my own tests because I wanted to take my own test and send it to one of the most reputable labs from my hand into the FedEx office up to the lab so that I knew the chain of command. And those tests came back with high levels of benzene in our creeks since the derailment. And you do not want your children in those creeks. You don't want that to off gas. You don't want to inhale that. You don't want to ingest it. And you don't want to you don't want to breathe that in, or you don't want to drink that in your water. The benzene breaks down to amethylstyrene as a metabolite in the body, which is a genotoxic carcinogen, which is deadly in the long run. Just because you don't feel symptoms now doesn't mean you're not going to get sick in the future. And I pray to God nobody gets ill from this, but we shouldn't have to worry about that in the first place. This place should have been cleaned up, or the people should have been moved out. If you can't get rid of the chemicals, you move the people. You remove the people from the chemicals. In District 6, I'll do the same for you. Any problems you have, I will fight for you tirelessly. rickchai.com. Look at my campaign page and my policies. And I'm going to win this.
I appreciate you joining us. I know that there's a lot at stake in that area particularly. And if you go to Washington, we'll be watching to see what happens. A big race coming up, so stay in touch with us. Appreciate you joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Happy New Year.